Hello, and welcome back to Steel Division 2, and this is actually the first 1v1 that I will do on the released version. Well, not the first one I played, but the first one I recorded. So, the game was released today. I don't know if I can really recommend it to you guys. I think I can, since I put around 150 hours into the beta, and now I'm playing again, so I guess they're doing something right. And there is auto match now, which is really good, so I don't have to sit around in lobbies. And this is my Harteneck deck. Well, none of the decks really carried over, so I have to, make a new one, and I made a new one, and I played this in the game that I will show you. And that was maybe the most insane game I played yet. It's really on another level, so let me show you my deck. We have some Kozaken here. Scouts can take a fight, which I use them in combat roles mostly. The looks pretty good against infantry. Scout as well, so can spot stuff. Now with my infantry tab, I'm not too happy. Actually, I have 6 Grens, I have Reitführers, I have Jäger Pyos, just a mix. I have these Panzer Grenadiers, and I'm not really going for vet now, except on the MP44 Riders. Yeah, Riders, what am I talking about? Jägers. So only these guys are vetted for now, and I'm going, well, from my experience, it's more important to have more units than anything else in 1v1s. So your opponent will try to drown you in infantry, and if you have vetted infantry, you might do the damage, but you will not be able to hold on for long. So I made a slight mistake here with this Hungarian infantry. I think I've put only one unit here. Yes, and I didn't want those Hungarians, I wanted these Hungarians with the machine guns, so I'm just gonna exchange that. But everything else is the same. You can see a lot of infantry in my deck, mostly for those protracted phase C fights. Tank tab, just 60 34s and 12 Tigers should be enough. If you lose 12 Tigers, you might as well quit. Jäger MG, Commandant, Opel Blitz. AT wise, 45 mil AT guns, 4 Jagdpanzers. These captured this gun, which I use as artillery, and 5 packs. Anti-air wise, as always, the weak point of Harteneck. Flak, 4 pieces. I mean, they're mediocre at best. And 6 of these. Really good AA, but really fragile. Will get strafed out by fighter planes if your enemy wants to do it. RT wise, Batterieführer is a leader. 120 mil Jäger mortar, and these mortars in the half track, because they're basically impossible to counter barrage, so they're really strong. A lot of Hungarian planes, which are all equally bad. They really get shredded by any Russian plane, but it's better to have any than none. So 3 of these, 6 of these, 4 of these, 2 ground attack planes just in case, and 8 of these dudes in phase C, just to at least contest air superiority. So I'll see you right in the game, I guess. It's nothing we haven't seen before, I mean this deck, but the game is something else. See you soon. Hello, and welcome to, well, this map that I haven't played before. This was the first game on this map, so let's look at the map while we're deploying. It's quite interesting. Has a big urban area over here, a big town that you can have all your infantry fights in. It's quite big as well if you look at it. I think I'm too loud. I'm too loud. Cool. I'd rather be a bit louder than the audio. So, has a big urban area over here, but a big empty area as well for your tank engagements if you want to try to come through here. A forest in the middle for your classical TNT flamer engagements. A little bit of a forest here, and these are hills. So pretty good line of sight on all of these. Who gets the hills is in a good position. So I don't really have a plan when I'm starting this. I kind of think that I want to contest the town and push through here. Wait until B and then maybe move my Tigers through. But as always, what you plan rarely happens, so I gotta try. Gotta try something else. And we're playing against this group, Tyurina or whatever. I think that's one of the Soviet divisions I haven't played much, maybe once or twice, so I don't know much about them. I know now, after the match, but you know. He's on 120, 180, 80, so I think this is Vanguard, and I'm unbalanced. His name, Sharashka, I think, Tarashka, something like that. My Russian isn't really on point, but I can read Cyrillic. Okay, so let's see the deployment. To the right, I have a Jagdpanzer, a Lux, Jäger MG42 pack, Grens, P-Grens, Reiterführer, and a mortar, just trying to take this village, or town. P-Grens moving over here as well. Have some Jäger Piles, P-Grens, and Reiterführers trying to move into this forest. Have an MG, a bit of a sloppy deployment, as you can see. I don't really know the map. Jäger MG moving into these little buildings. I'm trying to move the scout looks into the forest to prevent any infantry from coming in. I have Kosaken, Jäger MP44s and Reitjägers MP40s and Panzerschreck or Panzerfaust moving into the forest. Kosaken moving here. Have another Lux trying to get into the forest, and the Panzerjäger. What am I talking about? This is a Jagdpanzer. So the Hetzer is moving here. Let's look at his deployment. To the left he has Sturmoviki in a actual... Well, that's strange. I never saw them in that transport. So M42 AT gun. I think this is an infantry gun. SG43 MG, of course. Faustniki. And two of these T4s. I think that's a Sherman. No, that's a captured Panzer IV, interesting. In the middle we have some Dozer Recon and an M42 AT gun. Well, not really the middle, but you know. And to the right, we have a really aggressive deployment on these points here. We have a Razvedka M42 snipers and what is this? MG, Dozer, and 2 AT. A lot of AT guns actually. He's expecting tanks. So let's see what happens here. Oh, I didn't want to do that. Whatever. I don't know if you even saw that I pulled up my start menu. So, we're moving into the village. We're here first, which is surprising, knowing that the Soviet transports are usually faster, but he's moving in these half tracks, so these are not faster, although they can engage. To the left I get caught here with my pants down basically. A lot of these MG snipers, Razvedka over here, M42, AT gun covering Dozer. We have an M42 flanking around and a Razvedka, it's moving to the forest as well. I'm trying to push through with my tanks moving, an Hungarian MA-109. I think that's a German plane with a Hungarian pilot or something like that. So pretty good at strafing that thing out, but here comes the P... whatever that is, some sort of plane, and of course it's a lot better than mine. So these don't look like fighter planes, but they still will take it out. I'm trying to contest the air, but you know, his air is just superior and this will be like that the whole game. We caught some Sturmoviki here. The Reitführer is here luckily for me because the Sturmoviki could have surrendered a lot of my infantry. To the left we're basically getting pushed back. There's no way we can push through. I don't know why I'm trying. Jagdpanzer peaks but will immediately take some shots from that M42, which is really good, in a good position. Maybe my opponent played this map before because I haven't, and I've been underperforming in the first half of the game. I'm moving in T-34s, just trying to stabilize this side. I feel like he's weaker on this side, which he is. He's basically in a defensive position here. A lot of AT guns, so this is a deadly combination. AT gun and infantry gun will hurt everything. I have a mortar here which will try to smoke these guys out. Well, not with smoke, I guess. When I say smoke these guys out, it almost sounds like I want to throw smoke at them, which I don't do. I, of course, hit them with high explosive shells. Some good hits here. We have M5Ls, that's just M5s, okay. To the left, total destruction of my forces. I have no chance. Although he's neglecting the middle, so I'm gaining some ground. 14-10, I'm winning according to the objective screen, but I'm losing currently. Razvedka shooting back. I hope my T-34s can take that thing out, but they're not really accurate. IL-2 recon plane coming in, can strafe out stuff, pretty annoying. Can't even go toe-to-toe with my fire planes because they're so bad. I don't know if it's the planes or the pilots, or I don't know. I'm not really good with German planes, but these things are just bad. They even look a bit silly when you see it's like... They look a bit old, I don't know. I don't know. Might be that it's a good plane, but just in the game for now, it's underperforming. More of these Soviet planes moving in. I'm pushing in as much infantry as I can right now, which is these Grens with DPs. But he has switched his focus to the town over here. He's slowly creeping forward with tanks and some infantry. Moving in Jaeger MP44s. These guys are really good, but you always have to keep in mind that they don't have an AT weapon, so if you get caught by a tank, you're done. Grens with DP, loader wounded. Surrender that guy. Second Shrek shot, only have 2 Panzerfausts. I keep saying Panzerschrecks, it's not the same thing. So now they're in trouble with that M5. There we go. He's starting to move in rocket planes, so same plane I guess, only equipped with rockets. T-34 shooting at that Razvedka, not really having any luck. I move in one of my fighter planes, just trying to surrender that M5 that is standing in the middle of the town. He surrenders one of my squads, which is bad. These planes are actually pretty good at strafing out stuff. Not really good at dogfighting, but at strafing out stuff, they're good. So they already took some crits, they won't last long, I mean this plane. Don't know why I was talking in the plural here. I move my Pios through, just trying to get as much ground as I can, because I'm really winning now heavily, but still I feel like I'm losing. It would seem that he isn't too familiar with the map either, because he left this place like that. Here we go, plane going down. MP44s get caught by the T4, which is super bad. We're getting a bit of a surround on the Sniper and SG-43, but these 2 squads will pin everything I have here, especially with fighter support. He's trying to strafe out my Jagdpanzer, which I luckily move out. Jaeger Pios get strafed out, a lot of planes on the field. Which is, to be honest, the best strategy against Harteneck, because I feel like they have real problems with dealing with enemy air. So if you couldn't see this, you would probably think that I won really fast here, but I didn't. This is a long game, so buckle up. I'm moving in some of this flak, which is really ineffective, as you can see. Not a single point of panic on these dudes. 45mm AT gun, if I may say so, in a good position. Just covering the flank of the town. Recon planes moving in, strafing out anything they can get their hands on. I'm trying to hit that AT gun, but I'm overshooting a bit, or the mortar is. So here we go, I'm moving in more flak, just trying to get these guys, but my plane and my flak is not really too good. The B and C phase flak that I have in my deck is really good, but this one is pretty bad, honestly. It's good at killing infantry at least. As you can see, that's a normal recon plane, and it's like just moving around, circling around the AA, and nothing happens. Shomaviki moving in again. Infantry moving through. By this time, I think to myself, I still feel like I'm slowly losing the edge when it comes to these objectives, but I think to myself, if I can last to phase C, I can probably break through. because surviving B will be the problem here. Here we go, Pigrens and tank against snipers. Should be able to take them out. My plane almost gets taken out by the IL-2 recon plane. Mortar is still missing, as you can see. 16-8. We have a single guy in this forest just standing around. We're gaining some ground in the middle as well, looking good. Have these right Führers here which really aren't doing anything. And the right Jägers will be taken out by the Faustniki. I'm gaining ground to the left because he's focusing on the right now, moving in some elite Sturmoviki infantry with T4s. Nothing much to contest them, some Pigra and some right Jägers which will get surrendered immediately. T-34, transmission damage, tracks broken, totally wrecked, can't move. Moving in Pigrens, just reinforcing that place. I don't know what I'm doing with that T-34, I was trying to do something. But I see the enemy plane moving in, and I should move, but now I realize that I should move, but it's too late. Damage is done. Mortar is still working on that AT gun. Faustniki will fight back, have a DP. T-34 moving in again. I think he's waiting for phase B to unleash all of his stuff. Sturmoviki move forward, surrender the right Jägers. They don't have a leader nearby. And double Sturmoviki moving through. These are the normal variant that don't have a flamer, but they have TNT, only one shell though. 7 PPSHs and an MG, good squad. Wait, how does that work? Okay, there's 8 men in the squad, that's how it works, because I thought there are 5-man squads for a second. Trying to catch these Sturmoviki, but, well, they're smart enough to retreat immediately. 40 and 10. So just these Pigrens now, because they're good at engaging enemy infantry on rages. So this is a pretty open map. Phase B hits, I immediately move in some of the better AA because he's been showing a lot of air. So this thing will shred enemy planes, but totally, I don't know how to say this, just too weak to anything basically. If something looks at it the wrong way, it dies. And especially enemy fighter planes like to risk it. You take 4 or 5 fighter planes and just strafe it out and it immediately dies. Which is bad. It's pretty expensive, it's 100 points, you know. So phase B hits, he has 180 income right now, I have 140 and I'm starting to lose 13-11. I show some air and he immediately moves into planes, which I kind of want to do. Because I have this thing, so I want to lure him here. One good trick is when enemy planes are moving towards you, don't turn back but go towards them. If you survive the initial blast, you have a better chance of escaping, but if you turn around they will just shred you to pieces. So AA is in position, as you can see, a lot of damage being done. That's a portable flak Führling basically. And now I move in my plane trying to get something, but it immediately gets taken out. I move in a second plane, it barely survives the first blast here, but I'm okay with that because these things will do a lot of damage. But I have to keep them moving because if he... There we go, another plane lost. If he knows where my AA piece is, he will come and strafe it out. And we don't want that to happen, don't we? 59. I'm starting to lose heavily. He pushed over to my forest. Well, it's not my forest anymore, I guess. L2 moving in, trying to spot that Sonderkraftfahrzeug, as you can see. I mean, it's good at panicking, but it doesn't really kill them either. That thing should have been dead. He's making progress on the right as well. He managed to move in some Sturmoviki. I'm moving in this Hungarian infantry, which I didn't really want to put in my deck, but I guess. The other Hungarian infantry is better for me with the 3 MGs. These guys have 14 rifles and 2 submachine guns. They don't even have a MG. I have a Hetzer here to take out that M2A1. And here comes the enemy. Well, that's a lot of stuff, dude. A lot of stuff. But there will be more. So a lot of infantry coming in with tank support. He wants to push through here. I'm starting to move in some Tigers now. First Tiger, I think, on the field. Remember, I have 12 Tigers. These guys doing a good job killing the Sturmoviki at least. Again, he has a lot of these emplacements with AT guns and infantry guns, which are pretty good at least panicking my Tigers. They can take them out as well. Depends on the AT gun. 45mm will have a hard time, but the bigger guns have a big chance of taking out Tigers anyway. Second Tiger moving in as well. I'm moving in a mortar because I feel like I will need arty. D34 takes out the T4, I think. Jagdpanzer getting sight on that M2A1 over here. I don't know why it should die immediately to a tank shell. I mean, it's ridiculous. That's basically an AT gun on tracks, so that thing shouldn't last long. Here we go. More AT moving in with MG support. That's a lot of stuff. He knows what's coming. He knows Tigers are coming. Again, he's losing. 14-10. I managed to gain some ground. But it's only a question of time with all of this coming in. So the spam is real. On both sides, of course. I'm not saying my opponent is spamming, I'm spamming as well. It's how you play. It's a lot different than Steel Division 44. Flak moving in as well. Hungarian infantry. Mostly gathering forces for now. I think he's preparing for a big push. And we can't see any of this. The Tiger will be able to spot something here, but immediately gets in the sight of the AT gun. There we go, bounce. And this thing as well will do panic damage, at least can crit. There we go, transmission damage immediately by the 45mm. And here come the Soviets, I guess. That's a lot of infantry, dude. So he's really using these 180 points he's getting to full extent. Tiger E here basically lost a lot of AT in his way. There's a 185 pen AT piece as well there, 57mm. There we go. Tiger's down. Rep. Some of his infantry take some damage from my flak, but he basically lost his position. 12-12. And now I'm worried. I gotta say, I was worried. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff creeping forward here. This strat kind of reminds me of the AT gun creep you could do in Company of Heroes. But this is worse. There's more infantry around. Sonderkraftfahrzeug is here. It'll start shooting at enemy infantry as they pop out. And of course does a lot of damage. I have a Tiger and Jagdpanzer fighting that AT gun over there. They will prevail, it would seem. Not really the best way to take out AT guns, but you know. Beggars can be choosers. So he's steamrolling my positions right now. The only thing I can do is move in these Tigers and hope for some good shots. Another AT gun here. 45mm. 13-11 right now. Soviets winning. I'm trying to take that stuff out, but the mortar is underperforming a bit. T-34 taking a lot of shots here. And here comes the Red Air Force. 2 recon planes just spotting for targets. I think he's looking for this thing. And a rocket plane. As soon as this thing starts shooting, I probably have to move. Because we don't want to get strafed out. So I start moving away. I have some fighter planes now. These are the better ones, a bit better. Still not awesome, but better. Some infantry peek here, get taken out. And more tanks. And more planes, of course. I want to keep my Sonderkraftfahrzeug moving because I'm really afraid that he will strafe it out. And here we go. Oh, we don't go. And I'm actually taking out some of these planes now. The Razvedka is still alive somehow. But I can't really compete in the air, as you probably can see. That's a lot of planes. A lot of good fighter planes. What did I do? So, here we go. 80 guns are in good positions. Tiger is getting shot. Doesn't look good. 14-10. He has 4 more objectives. Hungarians getting scared off by that flamer. And here we go. My AA piece goes down to something. I'm not sure to what. I think he strafed it out. I move in another one. With Harteneck you have good units but a very limited amount. 12 Tigers is kinda okay, but 6 of these is, you know, can work, can go horribly wrong. Depends if your opponent knows what he's doing. And this guy knows what he's doing because I saw him try to strafe out this AA, which people that don't know how fragile it is won't do. And that's a lot of AT guns, but mortar shooting. Missing a bit. But doing some panic damage. That's a lot of crits here. I bet he's a bit mad that they are not really taking out these Tigers. I would be mad as well. I start to move in these captured Zis guns and start to use them as RD. Because if I want to break him, I need RD. I won't be able to push through with Tigers only. I need to keep shooting all the time, 24/7, to have all of his emplacements and infantry pinned. And then I can hope for some sort of success. So here we go, this gun's shooting. Not the best RD around, but will do for panicking these things. Here we go, immediately take out an AT gun. Tiger is shooting as well. To the right, he's slowly creeping forward, and here we go. Well, what do you think about this? This is something else compared to the scale that you had in Steel Division 44 or Steel Division 1. Like, look at this. Let's count the tanks. I want to count the tanks. So there's even more coming. These are not all tanks. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 if I counted correctly. 17 enemy tanks converging on the town right now, so good luck with that, Tigers. Move in more of these Zis guns because I see they're effective enough. He's not shooting, my infantry is advancing. And he's just gathering his forces over here. A lot of Strelki Automachiki. That's... the whole Red Army is coming. My god. That is scary. And here we go. A big flank. And contesting the enemy armored push is a 45 with 45 millimeter PEC. So good luck with that. We are in phase B still, I think. Tiger is moving in on this side mostly. I smell weakness, so I'm starting to move units in. Of course, spending so many points on the right leaves his left a bit more unprotected. It's not unprotected at all, but it has less units than it would have. A lot of 80 guns being shipped in right now. Over here I have a Tiger and a Jagdpanzer, but they don't really have line of sight on the other side of town, so they won't be able to help. I repair my Tigers, move the Opel Blitz back to give some ammunition to these RD pieces. So pretty good, pretty good. Mostly panicking stuff. That's what I want them to do. And here we go. Here they come. Wow. That's a lot of tanks, dude. Move in some Grens. I think I still haven't spotted these tanks. Well, I might have. I spot them now, I think. But remembering how this went, I saw this and I wasn't too worried. I only saw, I think, these like 8. And then I thought to myself, yeah, if I put 2 Tigers here, I'll be able to hold them off long enough. But you know, it's not only 8 tanks. Here we go, so infantry obviously not making much progress here. I'm starting to go heavily on RD, 4 RD pieces right now, shooting at the enemy positions in the forest. 45 mil, getting some shots on T-34s. A single Tiger moving in. And he's pushing everything forward. He knows this is phase B. This is when he has his advantage. So if he uses it now, he can win the game. If he manages to break me thoroughly. So 14-10. And here we go. They're standing around. I don't know why he isn't pushing. I think he's busy on... Oh yeah, that's why he isn't pushing. So he's looking for my Sonderkraft. As you can see, he wants to strafe them out. And I keep them on the move. So here we go. There we go. Take it out. That's what I was talking about. Already doing a good job keeping back some of these enemy forces, but most of them get through. I have 3 Tigers here now. To the right, we're getting in a bit of engagement. That 45 is just shooting. I think he has no line of sight on it. And he's busy trying to micro all of this over here, so, you know, move in more AA because I need it, as you can certainly see for yourself. Tiger now getting first contact over here. I don't know why he isn't shooting. Here we go. Fires. Takes out enemy tank. Tiger is pushing through here as well. We're regaining some ground. And now all of these tanks start shooting at the Tiger. She immediately gets in trouble. So that's a lot of shots actually. So what do you think about this, huh? And now I realize what I'm facing on the right. RD really helping me push through here. Without the RD I couldn't do anything. So I guess that I have to move in more forces to the right. 13-11. Here comes the Soviet tanks. At 45 seems like it's doing nothing really. Tiger gets back, but will get panicked immediately, I think, after the first shot. And Tiger and T-34 moving in. I'm trying to keep these dudes back. A bit of an air war going on, but my planes again not really performing to their best. And here we go. They can take out that Tiger dude, but that's insane. That must be frustrating, shooting at that Tiger for so long, but these guys, pretty low penetration. 100 pen on all of these, and Tiger has 125. We're doing a good job on the left though, pushing through, 12-12. And second Tiger gets into the engagement. I'm mostly missing here. And here we go, we're gaining some ground to the left, but to the right, of course, trouble. That Tiger, man. Here comes another Tiger. I buy them as I get the points, so 120 points. Tiger. There we go, one enemy tank goes down, only 500 to go. A big push in the town, taking over the whole town, I think. Here comes the enemy air force, which is bad. I have AAPs though, luckily. And I start using my arty to shoot at that blob of tanks, just hoping I will panic them. But as you can see, it's not too much panic damage here. Well, that's some panic damage, but you know. All of my stuff is panicked though. The one Tiger remains here. I wish I had a rocket launcher, but I mean like Nebelwerfer or something. But I don't. Here comes another Tiger. Just trying to push them back for now, 13-11. Over here we do a good job for now. There's some enemies left in this forest that I want to take out. I don't know what this map is called, I have to check. So most of my tanks, like immediately after they arrive, they get panicked by 15 shots. Jagdpanzer 38 moving in now, I'm getting what I can. Tiger gets taken out by AT gun, 57mm side shot. He's doing a good job with the AT guns, they're really giving me trouble. I move in my own packs now, just trying to kill that stuff. That 45 has no AP shells, which is really funny. Because it's right in the face of those tanks. But the horde is thinning out, I guess. They're getting taken out by one. But here comes another wave of Soviets. And this time it's infantry. So my tank's doing a good job at keeping them back mostly. I move in a ground attack plane trying to kill some of these leaders. But nothing much, he moves in his fighter planes immediately, of course. Here comes the infantry. I'm losing heavily, 59. I have 10 minutes to do something about this. And stupidly, my AT gun is shooting at infantry. So I try to turn off the AG shells on these guys. I want these tanks dead. I use the Tiger to surrender some infantry. You know, because why not? This is an insane game anyway. But these dudes won't surrender. So AT gun is in place. We're getting some damage done now. So there we go. But here comes the infantry. This scale is insane. This is something you could not see in Steel Division 44. I mean, you could maybe see it in team games, but that's about it. Here we go. He's trying to take that thing out, but luckily I dodge it, or the A falls back. So as you can see, he's trying to strafe them out badly. He knows I don't get many of these, and these are the only things keeping him from getting total air superiority right now. So he knows that's the main thorn in his side. And here's a lot of infantry. He really wants to push through. Enemy fighter planes moving in, trying to strafe out these AT guns, which they do. But over here we have only 3 enemy tanks left. And now we have a rather strong force to push this side. Which is good, I guess. More infantry moving in. He knows that I have a strong force over here now, so he doesn't really bother. He wants to push here now. So there we go. Enemy tanks getting taken out, enemy infantry as well. Now we can move through. 14-10 still. Again, I'm trying to do some damage here with this looks, but that is a bad choice in hindsight. Trying to regain some of these objectives. Grenadiers moving in. We are in phase C now. I think he only gets 80 points, so he won't be able to sustain this for long, but he's trying to get as much points as he can, as you can see. There's so much infantry, it's not even doing that much of a damage, but here come the Zis guns. This almost looks like a team game, honestly, by the amount of units that's on the field. And here comes the arty. These things are trying to bomb out the Tiger, and I realized that, starting to move back. Slight miss there, Tiger stays alive. And the arty shooting the blob. Which is basically the only thing keeping them back now. We're gaining ground rapidly on the right though. And this is a lot of infantry. Here comes the rocket plane. I don't think I spotted on time. Oh, I do. I want to move out, but Tiger stays alive. Good. I'm moving in some Pyos. Just trying to hold this side now. I'm still losing though. I'm 1 objective short of this being even. It's like what? 14 squads, 15, God knows. That's a lot of MGs. But I gotta keep shooting here. These are the things that are basically keeping me in the game right now. He really wants to brute force his way through. Okay. Right, moving in some right Jaegers, 12-12. Trying to retake the town here. Not much stuff in the town, mostly these commanders. And a stolen Opel Blitz. Infantry is mostly pinned down, luckily. Here comes the Air Force again. But I don't think they have much line of sight. Yeah, they don't see my tanks. Good enough. So we can go a bit faster. It's mostly already firing now and advancing on the right. As you can see, my infantry moves in, starts taking out the enemy infantry, tanks moving in as well. To the left, it's mostly about the RD engagement with additional infantry coming, T-34s, whatever I can muster. I have the points. I have the point advantage right now. I think he's low on AT guns as well, so my tanks can now move freely for the most part. His Air Force is still active though. Jaeger pilots moving through. 13-11 right now, we're starting to win. So really insane game, honestly, especially insane numbers. His Air Force is trying, but I have too much stuff, I would say. Bailed out Tiger here. But that infantry is still coming. And I gotta keep buying ammunition here because we're shooting everything we got. 14-10 right now. Enemy Air Force approaching in a last-ditch effort to hold this push. Well, I think he's chasing my planes actually with his rocket planes, which is interesting. Over here it's mostly the infantry trying to brute force their way through, but under this already fire it won't work. Engagements in the town. Right Jaegers will win this. And here we go, 17-7. Really insane game, I have to say. It's basically over. I will gain more ground here. Just moving my tanks with this RD support on the left and with the sheer number of tanks I've gathered on the right. But yes, it had some really tense moments, and I think this is a good sign of the scale that Steel Division 2 is showing right now. So it's a lot more units to control, a lot more units. I mean, it's a lot more forgiving as well, in the sense of that you can use a lot of you can lose a lot of units and still win. But it's fun, and that's the main part. The only thing he's really moving in right now is his Air Force. That's the thing he has left. So we're pretty lucky that we survived the onslaught of that Air Force and that number of tanks. Maybe another division couldn't have handled this, a division that doesn't have Tigers, for example. It would have been hard to hold that push here. So heavy armor, useful in this case, very useful. Harteneck is a pretty good choice for anything, but only missing an AA tab really. I mean, it's not really missing an AA tab, but it's not as strong as I'd like it to be, but I guess that's for balance reasons as well. If they had a super strong AA tab as well, I don't know, would be hard to beat. But here we go. And that's it. Major defeat, yeah, it says, what is the map name? Shadrin. Well, it's not I don't know, probably is. So, major victory for me, major defeat for my opponent. 5,000 kills over here, so he even killed more stuff than I did. His unit, Sturmoviki performing well, Rozvedka performing well, this gun performing really well, killing, oh my god, is that 5 Tigers? That's insane. Yak performing good. Is this gun doing good? I lost a lot of Tigers in this engagement. Over here, 45 mil, Jagdpanzer 38, taking out a lot of stuff. Tiger E, my AA, killing a lot of enemy infantry. T-34 doing a good job. Tiger, of course, taking out many enemy tanks. Jagdpanzer 38 destroying a lot of tanks, some AT guns, some infantry as well. So, great game, I would say. I hope you guys enjoyed this one as much as I've enjoyed playing it. If you did, please do subscribe to my channel, like the video, because it helps me out. And I'll be back with more 1v1s soon, and I hope to see you on the battlefield in Steel Division 2. And I guess it's a game I can recommend. I can say it's worth it. And I hope it's only going to get better. So, thank you for watching, and I will see you soon with more Steel Division.